pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Trustee Foley?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee Cox?
Here.
Trustee Hopkins?
Here.
Supervisor Allen?
Here.
Passes.
Okay. Moving on to public comments.
Yeah. Clint Ball, Collinsville. Not really a comment, but an observation. Let me just make this meeting real quick for you guys. Dan's going to make a motion. Mike's going to second it. Derek's going to vote no. Trustee Allen's going to vote yes. Dan's going to vote yes. Mike's going to vote yes. There you go. There's your meeting. You might as well just get it over with because that's what's going to happen.
Exactly what's
Thank
going to
you.
happen. Yep.
I got on lunch date.
Any other public comments?
Yes, right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi,
Your
Mary
name?
Drum. For the attorney, is it legal for them to take the money out of the general assistance fund to buy the door?
Yes.
It is legal.
Yes.
So, if it's legal, it's immoral,
Okay.
okay?
I like this having two meetings in a row, as a public speaker, we get a chance to readdress what you say. So, a couple things. Why use a general assistance fund for capital improvements, which, so you're on record that you say that's legal, which I disagree with that. But I would ask in Trustee Hopkins' argument, he said, oh, well, that's their share, it's done in the building. Well, you know what, you calculate the Social Security, you make the Social Security payments out of that building. You do the same thing with IMRF. You make the payroll for the roads out of that building. Did you take money out of all those to help pay for that? I'm sure you didn't. So your argument is not a very good argument. If in fact the attorney is correct and it's legal, which again I doubt, but if that is correct, well then you're doing it just because you want to do it. That's what you're doing, because you got money in it, and you want to spend it down. And it's not because, as Trustee Derek over here said, it's not because it's right. It's right. General assistance money was collected for general assistance. That's what the tax, it's a separate tax, a separate line item, and you collect the money for general assistance to spend it on capital improvements. I just don't, that's just not correct. Trustee Hopkins said something about approving the bills, that we approve the bills, and Mr. Pillay, he provides it, we just do it. Well, that's part of your job as a trustee. You're supposed to approve the budgets and approve the bills. If somebody's violating the law, if Terry's pulling the money from the wrong fund and is spending it, and it's wrong, you should vote no. You should vote yes, and if it was done and it was a mistake, put it back, transfer it. There's transfers. That's a possibility in government. It's done all the time. People make transfers. You can make transfers and move the money back. I don't understand why you're adamant against that. Again, Trustee Hopkins said he was listening. I stood up here and I clearly stated that after I talked to the chief assessor, and he told me that other townships keep a person in the township office to handle that, I said you could keep the money to do that. I clearly said it. So if someone comes in and has a question about filling out a form, or there would be someone in the office. They wouldn't have to go to Edwardsville. The assessments would be done out of Edwardsville, but the customer service would still be at the same location, right in the township office, just like it's always been. You'd call the phone, someone would pick up the phone, just like it's always been. So I just, I hope you do the right thing, and I'm sorry I come to expect you probably won't, but I'll try to be optimistic. Thank you.
Phyllis Strauskis, Collinsville. I just want to comment to you on the general assistance fund. We were always led to believe the restricted fund in the general assistance could only be used for assistance and the salary or the needs of the person working there. So taking this money, again, to me, that's capital improvement. It should not come out of this one fund. have you charged rent or anything in the past from general assistance for her space in the office? If you're doing this because she hasn't been paying rent, that's wrong, because that wasn't budgeted that way. So I don't think it's right to take this out of this fund, because it was meant to help people in need in the city of Collinsville, or Collinsville Township, I'm sorry. And also it has the looks of, we know this general assistance fund has been over assessed for years and years, and we have a big overage. And that's just another attempt to use some of this money up. Secondly, meeting times. I am sure there are people out there would have loved to attend this meeting today if it was held in the evening when most people don't work. So I think in the future, all meetings should be held in the evening, especially one of this nature. IMRF, we already know that we're paying basically about $70,000 for retirement fund. If you wanna levy something in your budget, wouldn't you just figure 30, 40,000 a year or something if you're not gonna do it continually? And also, if you under budget this thing, say you're going for $3 million, the way I understand it, you can meet again and ask for 10% over what your office or facility was budgeted for. So why don't we use that policy rather than tax it all up front? And in regard to all this money goes to the Collinsville employees or the Collinsville people in that fund, somebody ought to have this in writing. So I don't trust anybody, least of all the state of Illinois. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, moving on. On four.
Vote to finalize action on the tentative budget and appropriation ordinances for Collinsville Township Town Fund, General Assistance and Road District for 2019/2020.
Hold on. My first question is.
I made a motion. I had the floor first.
He did have a good, my first thing is this a tentative budget?
I
When are we
have
gonna
a
vote on the
motion
real
on the
budget?
floor.
It's not a tentative budget, it's just cross-out tentative.
Well, that's what we had, the very first one.
What's the agenda say?
But you were voting, you were making a motion on the tentative budget, it's not a tentative budget, Mike.
Can't do something not in the
What's the
agenda.
agenda say?
Can't do it if it's not in the
Why is
agenda.
it then phrased that way? It's an appropriation ordinance also.
You're the one that made the motion, I don't know.
Whatever. You just go off the wheel all the time.
Okay,
anyway,
Mike,
so.
you made the statement.
So, is this a problem?
It's, I don't think it's a big problem. This is, at this point, we're making the tentative budget, the actual budget. This is,
That's not what it says.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
not what it says.
All right,
That's not what it says.
I heard you.
Public comment.
So, I don't,
Can't vote.
I don't understand how this can happen, and I apologize that I didn't see this.
The tentative budget was on the very first one when we were first ever gonna do it.
Yeah, but that's not what we're doing right now.
But I mean, I just.
I just get upset because how many meetings do we have in July, and how many I mean, how hard is it just to say that we're voting on the budget? And so this isn't a temporary budget, this isn't a tentative budget. That's why I asked, when are we gonna, so, I don't know. You do.
We have a motion on the budget, right? We have a motion on the budget. Okay, we got a second.
I'd like to amend that motion, and the amended motion I would like to make is that we, vote on the real budget, and separate it by different funds. So then I can vote yes, because there's some parts of the budget I'm okay with.
We have to vote on it separately anyway.
No, I'm saying on the general town fund, because I don't even know what his motion was, he never actually said what your motion was.
To approve it.
What budget? Okay, I'm guessing you
What do you
mean,
think all these paper?
well, we have a road,
Wow.
we have a road and we have a general. So I assume you're talking about the general, I don't know. But my amended motion is on the general
It's,
fund.
it's
on
all
the-
put in there together and stuff like that. We can break it down and do one after the other, after the other.
Mr. Supervisor, are you asking for a motion to approve the township fund?
Yes, sir.
The budget for the township fund? Okay.
The town. We have a motion. The township, okay.
Yes.
The town fund.
The town fund, right, okay. Motion is second. My motion is to amend that motion to separate the town fund by the different funds so we can move some of this money around. We have a motion, can we get a second? No second.
No, no, not,
Yes, you can, I just made the motion, and we've already agreed to that, that we can amend things.
What do you want to do?
I'm wanting to amend the line items that even our accountant agrees that they could go into the IMRF. If that's where, in fact, it's going to, that's where I want it to go to.
Well, I don't want to move that IMRF money there because that's a restricted fund. And once we put money in that IMRF fund, it can't be used for anything else. Okay? So,
That's why I like it there, because
Really?
that's the point. You can sit there and, again, if they wanna go out and buy a car or perhaps another new door or whatever, now, that can be
let's clear up the
contingent.
door thing. The $40,000 was for the $300,000 in improvements for both buildings. It wasn't just for a door. They put a new roof on that building, they put, safety glass in there for bolt-resistant glass, they put locks on the door. There was more than just a door put in.
We're
So
having a
you're,
discussion now.
you spreading this misconception that it was for a single door.
Yeah, how did that come out? Okay, you want me to tell you, and I'll replay it. Our, accountant, he said that was for the entranceway. That is exactly what he said. Yes, it was.
Well, that's just
During
not
the
a
door,
door.
the entranceway.
The whole entranceway.
Yes, you guys said a
But
door
it's
though.
also for the roof, they put a new roof on the
Okay, I'm
building
just trying to
too.
simplify things.
Well, I'm trying to simplify your propaganda is what I'm trying to simplify, because you are saying things on public that apparently that isn't true. You're saying it's just, you spent $40,000 on a door. No.
An entranceway. That's what our accountant
And
said.
for a new roof,
Okay.
$40,000.
Out of,
ma'am, please,
I'm sorry.
please,
let him explain it.
please, let me explain it. Please, we're having a discussion here.
Oh, my
Out of the, and she's right, out of the general assistance. I have a problem with that,
You
Dan.
know what?
I'm not
I
necessarily.
believe it's legal, but you know what? If it's not, I will make the motion to transfer it back. But I'm not gonna change
Why
it
can't we
right now.
just do it now? I mean,
I'm not gonna do it.
You think it's right? A, you think it's right, correct? You think it's right?
If it's allowed by law, I think it's right. Yes.
Okay, okay, well, then that's fine. So, listen, I can only make my case, that's all I can do. On the assessors, part, what I was pushing for, all right, I was trying to be practical, nothing crazy. I agree with Mr. Achenbach, we could still have a person in here down the road, but I'm just trying to say, let's budget what we spent last year. I'm not trying to ask for anything crazy. But we can't even do that. We have to spend $100,000 more, and we're already spending double of what towns like Edwardsville are spending. That's not right.
Well, let's call the vote.
No. I thought there was a discussion. I was just.
Yeah, well,
How far you gonna go with it?
Okay, well,
I'm glad this is on video.
So-
You guys-
and again, I just wanted to.
call for the question. Just
Okay,
let
so
the
he
gavel
just said
call
that,
for the question.
so that is a motion to call, we need to vote on that, to call for the question. If you wanna stick to Robert's rules.
We have a motion
He
by.
just said to call for the questions.
He calls the vote. Call for
Oh,
the
you're not recognizing him, okay.
Okay.
So what do we
Mike
vote
was
on?
first, and we get a second. Pardon? Is there any motion and second? No, we got the second? Okay,
Yep.
we have a motion and second, roll call.
Okay, this is approve the town fund budget.
Yes.
Budget.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Cox,
No.
trustee Hopkins,
yes.
supervisor Allen,
Aye.
I was.
Now I make a motion for the general assistance fund budget.
to make the motion to vote on it. He just did. We got a motion and a second?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. Okay. Jack, do you wanna explain, or do you want me to? What his motion just was?
Yeah, so,
And you seconded it. Go ahead,
that's
Jack.
right.
Right.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
That was part of the township funds.
It's all one.
It's all we're moving on town.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the road and bridge budget, since that wasn't a valid.
Listen,
that wasn't
why
a
in the
valid
world
motion.
did you just second that
That
motion?
motion.
That's exactly
Will
what
you
I
quit
was,
questioning me?
that's
Okay?
exactly what I was
It's
asking
not your
for
purpose
to
to
do.
question me. You serve as one member of this board, don't you question me, okay? You serve as one member of this board. Questioning what I do and how I vote is not your responsibility. You vote what you wanna vote on, I'll vote on what I wanna vote on, okay? So just stop right there. That's not part of this meeting, for you to call this out for your little video show up there, okay?
Listen, he just motioned for exactly what I wanted to do, and I was saying, why in the world? You just wanted to motion to vote on the general assistance, and we already voted on the whole general town fund. You didn't even know what you guys just voted on and made a motion on. Sorry, I had to point that out. So Jack also pointed it out, so I guess we'll have, entertain a new motion.
Hey, Jim, I'm gonna call you on this.
Okay.
Generally speaking, we have always voted for the town fund, general assistance, and the road and bridge separately, correct?
Usually, in my memory, you voted for the town fund, which includes general assistance, in one vote. Then you, voted to approve the road part of it, road district part of it.
Yep.
So you had two votes, in other words, because I remember that sometimes the road district, everybody says yes. The town side, there might be a few dissents on it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second, I believe.
No, we don't.
Do we have a motion to approve the road and bridge budget?
Motion by Mike.
Motion for road and bridge budget.
Second, sir? We have a motion and a second.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
supervisor Allen,
Aye.
Okay, so, for item 5, we have to go into executive session.
Item 5, we go into executive session to discuss pending or
Threatening litigation.
threatened litigation.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second, a motion by Dan, second by Mike. Any questions? Not roll call.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Hopkins, supervisor Allen,
Aye. Yeah, you folks who sit here, if you want, we'll go into a different room.